You are now listening to Between Us Girls, the podcast, where we discuss life's fuckeries and then some over wine.
Hey, welcome to our show. This is Michelle.
Danielle.
And Sharonda.
And this is
Between
Us
Girls.
Okay, so you might notice the lateness in Sharonda. And she's actually calling in because she's not feeling well.
She's such a champion, that girl. I just love her.
Yeah.
Bitch.
So basically, she's going to be a little bit slow tonight because she's not here. She can't see us. She
I
can only
can't
hear
see
us.
him. No.
She can see us or be us, but she can't.
Oh my God.
I feel like that's not how it goes.
Whatever.
Actually, that's exactly how it goes. And I'm on my deathbed and I'm still calling in. So, yes.
Okay, well, thank
Respect
you, Sharonda.
that shit.
She persevered. Isn't that so special?
We really, really appreciate that. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, we thank you. This is our first episode going into our second year of podcasting. And you can always find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, and iTunes. On Facebook, Between Us Girls, the podcast. On Twitter, @Girl Talking Wine. And on Instagram, Between Us Girls Podcast. And then, of course, on our website, www.betweenusgirlspodcast.com. Today, we are going to discuss the metoo hashtag and just sexual assault, sexual harassment, some issues that are surrounding, that.
And if you would like to be a generous donor to this wonderful show and its second year, then you can go to www.patreon.com/Between Us Girls. And I did a body roll when I said the / part.
Good.
A full body roll.
Don't leave anything out.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Sharonda. So our fan of the week this week is D. Lewis.
Yay!
Thank you, D. Thank
We
you.
were singing, huh? For a minute, we were like, yeah, like that.
You guys were. I was like, this sounds really good.
It's like a chorus, yeah.
She is in our bug group, of course, and she posts a lot. She doesn't post as much as the other D used to, but she posts quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And she just recently decided she was going to catch up on our whole catalog. So
Did she really?
whoop, whoop, whoop.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
is.
awesome.
She's
Thank
very
you, Dee.
active
Yeah, she
participant.
is. She really is. And didn't you have like a top?
Yeah, she was a
participant?
top contributor of our group, so she's very active, very lively.
Yeah.
She's so
Thank you.
funny. She is so funny to me.
She is, because she's like, do y'all know how to cook? Oh, you don't? Well, that ain't none of my business.
Oh my God.
So, Danielle, you have some shout outs you wanted to make, right?
Oh yeah, about that.
Okay. Okay.
So I just want to give a shout out to my black podcasters on Twitter. It's a little tight knit community. Yeah,
Great
it's
group
a great
of people.
group. Yeah, we basically support each other on Twitter to try to get each other's shows out. I just wanted to give a shout out to Time for Some Action, Podcast Brothers, Henny and Hot Wings, Blaze Entertainment, and Cole Sports. So if you all get a chance, go out and check those shows out, and you can use the hashtag BlackPod on Twitter. You can find those shows and many more black people. It's very important.
Many more black people.
Black people.
Many more black people, because there are black people actually on Twitter.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are. It's a whole. Oh my God, it's a thing.
Blitter.
It's a thing.
Glitter,
Oh my
black
God.
Twitter.
Blitter.
But they're kind of mean, so be careful.
I was
with
just
them.
about to say.
Right, you
Black
really
Twitter
can't do
will drag the
anything.
shit out of your ass. Don't try it.
You're not allowed to breathe in the black section.
No, you can't
You
do
do
it.
that, they're
Mm-mm.
going in on your ass.
Exactly.
You can't sit with us. You cannot.
No.
Pretty much. So, Sharonda, you can't see the bottle, so I'm going to ask Danielle the magic question, which is, what are we sipping on?
So tonight. That's how Sharonda do it.
Bitch.
Tonight.
You know what? I swear to God.
We sipping on this gas station wine.
Bitch, bye, because I'm about that. Oh,
Fuck you, bitch.
oh, never mind. You're playing Sharonda. Okay.
Oh, your bitch ass was too good for a gas station wine when I brought it, but when you bring it, it's okay.
I spent almost $20 on that at the Ghetto Specs.
We stepped it up today. So we are drinking King Estate Pinot Gris.
Oh my God. I'm so glad I'm not there because I would not be drinking that shit. But go ahead.
Whatever. The alcohol content is 13.5%. And what is it? Oh, the vintage is 2013.
King Estate.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good so far. So, of course, as usual, individual scores go up to 25. But since it's just me and Danielle drinking, because Sharonda is going to be drinking ginger tea.
Yes,
Aww.
I am.
We will.
Because my stomach is wrong.
Yeah, loud and wrong.
Exactly. And I give it a 26.
Ruh-roh. Okay. So yeah, Danielle and I will score it.
I hate y'all so much.
Okay. Well, so yeah, we're gonna talk about hashtag #MeToo that we just learned was started by a black woman. It's very important, apparently. No, really. I was just on Facebook, and I saw a Facebook friend who was talking about it, and she said that it was started by a black woman, which is really irrelevant. But anyway, so let me
It was. It doesn't even make any sense.
No, and I was like, oh, okay. Which we were both like, oh, okay, that's fine.
It's like, yeah.
So let's explain kind of where that came from. I guess it was it last week or a couple weeks? It's about 2 weeks ago now.
It's about 2 weeks ago now.
The New York Times unleashed kind of a shitstorm. They published an article about sexual harassment and rape allegations against Harvey Weinstein. That sparked the trending hashtag #MeToo on social media. Several celebrities, such as Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie, and Lupita Nyong'o. Is that how you say that name?
We're going to go with it.
Okay. They came out, and, other women all over the world started using hashtag #MeToo to talk about their stories of sexual harassment. Now, of course, Gwyneth, Angelina, and Lupita in particular had stories relating to Harvey Weinstein. And for those of you who don't know who he is, because I sure didn't in the very beginning, I guess he's like a movie producer and a film executive. He and his brother started Miramax.
Really? I didn't even know that.
They started Miramax, and then also, he owns the Weinstein company?
The Weinstein, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, he's a nasty old man.
He's rather disgusting. Like,
yeah.
Just off site. Just the one picture alone. Like, you're fucking. Look at you.
He's a 2.
Oh.
Not even. Not even.
If. He almost looks.
You automatically are a 1 if you have legs and arms, but that's about it. I'm gonna stop there.
Doesn't Jabba the Hut have legs and arms?
So Jabba's a 1.
You get a couple points for having a face.
Right.
So, okay, so let's go into the legal definition of sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is defined as an unwelcome sexual advance, request for sexual favors, or any other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature that tends to create a hostile or offensive work environment. Now, of course, you can be sexually harassed elsewhere, but under the actual definition we're looking at, in a work environment. We have some statistics. According to a survey done by Cosmopolitan, very reputable source.
Very.
1 in 3 women have been sexually harassed at work. And women between the ages of 18 and 24 are 3 times more likely to have experienced sexual violence. So, have either of you guys ever been sexually harassed or assaulted?
In the workplace, no. I've never been sexually assaulted or harassed. I'll say that the only really form of sexual harassment that I feel that I may have received is like catcalling.
Yeah.
Like when dudes yelling at you or whatever, and they're like,
Psst,
yeah.
psst.
Hey,
black
you.
shirt.
Yeah. Exactly. That kind of
Red
thing.
shirt.
Yeah.
Red shirt. Oh, red
Come
shirt. You're
come
going
here
to be
real
like that
quick.
red
Come here real
shirt.
quick.
And you're like, do I look like I'm available to talk to you?
And you're like, gross. Get away. Ugh.
Right.
Stranger danger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Where's my whistle?
For real. Motherfuckers need a rape whistle for real out here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, really do. But yeah, no, that's like pretty much the only form of sexual harassment that I've ever had. I mean, I wouldn't even really downplay it because like I think that with some forms of catcalling, like it gets really aggressive, and I mean it can really scare somebody. You know what I mean?
Definitely, because a lot of times it does become physical.
Mm-hmm.
They come into your personal space, and then once you reject them, they become hostile, violent.
Yeah.
And, violence doesn't have to be physical. It could be verbal. Yeah. Fuck you, bitch. Bitch,
well, that
stank ass. I don't want your motherfucking ass anyway.
Yeah. That happened to me like in a club one day. Like I was leaving out the restroom, and for whatever reason, guys be like standing right out there. Like it's gross, right?
Yeah.
And so,
like a meat market.
Yeah. Like what the hell? Anyway, so I'm walking.
I didn't even wash my goddamn hands. And you out here? I'm just kidding.
Nasty ass.
Just kidding.
Oh my!
You see the club restroom?
But you're out here waiting.
We're squatting in here. We're squatting and you're trying to holler at me. Like there was no soap and the water doesn't work, but you still want to. Oh my God. Ridiculous.
But yeah, so like I was walking, out the restroom, and this dude, he kind of grabbed me. He was like, hey, come here real quick. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, I'm good, and he's like, oh, what, you got a man or something? I was like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. Well, fuck you anyway or whatever. And then like his friend like was like grabbing on him, like, he's like, dude, like chill out. Like he had to come get him just to calm him down. Like so yeah, it can get really aggressive with that catcalling stuff.
Most definitely. And I remember, of course, I don't go to clubs right, now, but when I was younger, that hand grab. Mm-hmm. Why are you touching me?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know you. I could have finger herpes. Why are you touching me?
Finger herpes?
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have anything.
It's a growth. Like,
shit, I have goddamn Ebola. And again, I just went to the restroom in here, and you don't know if I wash my fucking hands, but yet you want to caress a bitch.
You don't know what my hand washing situation was even looking like in that bathroom.
You don't know.
Trying to hold my goddamn hand.
You don't know.
And here you go touching and shit.
Right. But I've had that same thing happen to me before, and it's so crazy. Like I used to work this second job, like this was before I had kids or whatever, so I was probably like maybe 24, 25. And I worked the second job. It was like security or whatever. And I stopped at the gas station on my way home. And like this guy was trying to talk to me. And it was like probably 2:00 in the morning. And he was like, hey, what's up? Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like I try to still speak because, shit, I'm a lady out here, like late at night, whatever. But it got to the point where I was like, well, listen, I got somebody, like I have somebody at home,
pause.
blah, blah. What?
Pause.
Did you say
a lady?
Oh, bitch. You know what? I hope you get fucking finger herpes and die. Okay? I hope you catch that shit from Michelle and die. Okay? Today.
A lady, though?
I mean, because I'm a lady out here in these streets.
Bitch, I'm a lady out here in these streets.
Such a fucking lady.
What is they say? I was such a fucking lady. Exactly, Michelle.
Yes.
Anyway, but it's late at night, whatever. But it literally became like exactly what Danielle just said. Like it was like oh, fuck you, bitch. You think you too good at that? Like it really, turned into a situation where it's just kind of like me and him and maybe a couple of other random people at some gas pumps. But this motherfucker is like fully cussing me out, going off on me because I rejected him and was like, nah, I'm good. I have a man. And that kind of shit, makes you not really, want a deal. Luckily, I did have a weapon in my trunk. So I was like, let me just get close to this motherfucking trunk just in case this nigga try to come over here. But it got to the point where I was really like scared, and I was like, fuck this gas and let me take my ass home. And I literally did just that because I was scared. There was nobody else out there. I had nobody with me, and all because I said no. Like, I have a man at home.
Right.
They have a hard time. Some guys have a hard time accepting rejection. It's like, how dare you not want
Say no.
me?
That's that damn ego, man.
Like, here I am talking to you, using my words and my breath.
Using it up on
How
you, and
dare
you
you?
want to accept it?
My free time.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The king of Zamunda.
Okay, I'm off
And you out here.
myself. Like, what the hell?
I was going to let you clean the raw penis, and here you go.
Right?
The fuck?
It's like, come on now. Like, seriously.
I really, like I say, I think that's male ego right there. That's probably where a lot of this comes in.
Yeah.
But to that extent, though, like, is the male ego that sensitive where you're literally, like, cursing out a strange person that you don't even know? Like, I could have been crazier than he was. Like, does he not, do people not think about stuff like that? I don't know. I just can't. Nothing makes me believe the male ego is that strong to where you have to just literally start cussing out and going off on somebody because they polite. And then I wasn't even rude about it. Like, I don't think most ladies are rude about it. You know what I mean? When they say no or no thank you.
Some of us are bitchy.
Finger
But also
herpes,
the male
Danielle.
ego is that fragile.
So, we going to keep saying ladies, though. Like,
ladies. Yeah, right. I'll say I've been sexually harassed to me at work. And then I've been sexually assaulted outside of work. So, and like you said, I think it all boils down to ego. You tell them no. Yeah. Sometimes they're like, well, I'm going to fucking do what I want to do anyway. And that's how you end up, dealing with sexual violence. As far as work goes, it's just like, it's like a light dusting of uncomfortable sexual innuendo.
like Salt Bay?
Like a Salt Bay, like a little, just toss that on you like, oh, I love sex. While you're typing and you're like, okay, you still probably got a small dick.
But about that TPS report, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Could you just? About them TPS reports.
Right.
Still waiting. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some other celebrities involved in rape, sexual harassment, or other just really questionable situations involving women and sex. So last week, I woke up to Danielle sending me a message like, look, another motherfucker. Like, it was that serious.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody named James Toback. Or Tuback?
I think it's Toback.
Just kidding. Toback. Okay.
Wow.
He's a screenwriter and director of films such as The Pickup Artist, Bugsy, Two Girls and a Guy, and he's also accused of sexual harassment by 38 women.
Wow.
And they share similar stories about him, being hella inappropriate. And at some point, it came out that he was dry humping, masturbating, and coming on people in the meeting.
He's
And
like,
then-
oh, here's my business card. Would you like to work for me? By the way, how often do you masturbate?
Yeah.
And then
my
he just start
God.
like rubbing one out right there or whatever, like that kind of thing, which is so gross. It's like,
Oh my God, your forehead. Like,
yeah.
the
Oh,
fuck?
no.
Oh, it's so shiny. Let me rub one out real quick. Like,
I am scarred for my whole life by this conversation.
Literally. Like, oh my God.
it's so gross. Like,
The news story was really, actually, the way they described it was disgusting. They're like, he would end up ejaculating on these people and walking out of the meeting, and that would just be it. Like, he wouldn't even come back and be like, hey, do you need a rag?
Oh my God.
oh, by the way, I'm still not fucking hiring
Yeah.
you.
Right.
Yeah. you're not the right look for the part.
Exactly.
But thanks for the nut. So that was pretty disgusting. And it was like, okay, so this is exactly like what happened with Harvey Weinstein. Of course, this guy is...
Harvey Weinstein's story is so much funnier to me. I mean, it's not... It's
This bitch.
Danielle,
I know, right? It's not supposed to
are
be.
you using
say
the word
I'm
funny
not
to
a
talk
lady?
about sexual harassment and assault?
You're a full
Possible kidnapping?
Full
Did you
bastard.
see the way he had Lupita hemmed up? She was like, God damn, how am I going to get out of this? He's like, bitch, is you going to come upstairs or is you going to come upstairs?
That's not what I meant. Like, the funny part of the story with Harvey Weinstein and all the women is like at some point in everybody's story, he just suddenly appeared in a white robe asking for a massage.
What them hands do, bitch.
That's what I was going to say. It's the
He's
funny
like,
part.
Okay.
It's like, where you get this
You know what it
robe
reminds
from?
me of? All those sexual harassment like shows when we were growing up that would be like, why don't you slip into something more comfortable? And then, like on Melrose Place or Saved by the Bell, whatever it was like, what do you mean? Or that commercial where the lady shrunk and she was like, this is sexual harassment and I don't have to take it. And every time he was like, you look really great in that sweater, she just kept getting smaller. You know what I'm talking about?
No, what you talking
Sharonda, you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. That's
Okay.
why I'm over here laughing.
Danielle's
I don't know
like,
if my
yeah.
laugh is delayed, but I'm like laughing at you. Yes.
Yeah.
I have no idea. No, what you remind me of is my son. He told me, he's like, every time they show like one of those kidnapping videos at school, it's always a guy in a white van, and he's always asking you, can you help him find his dog?
Oh my God.
For real.
Me and my cousin actually call that shit a rape van because
Yeah.
it looks like you're gonna rape somebody. If that motherfucker ain't got no windows, you about to get raped. Just know
That's
that.
exactly what Terrence said last week. He was like, oh man, Mom, that's a rapist van. And I'm like,
Yes, it's a rape van.
I just think when we were growing up in the 90s, it was really big to talk about kidnapping, like America's Most Wanted, and sexual assault, like at work, sexual harassment. And I don't have to take it.
And back then it was candy though. Like, oh
Yeah.
hi, little kid. You want
Your
some
mom
candy?
told me to pick you up today, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I've got some I've got some candy here in my van.
But I don't know you.
Motherfucker ain't never to be seen again. Getting in there looking for them goddamn gummy worms.
We
Right.
suck at being serious.
We're talking about a serious topic tonight, and then we're like, inappropriate.
Exactly.
And then giggling and laughing and being like, remember that time that person died?
Exactly.
Sorry, we were all raised poorly. Sorry.
You know it's bad when Sharonda's trying to be the voice of reason. She's like, sorry, I want to apologize. She's
Right.
like the asshole. Okay, but really also
Well, because I was gonna try to take this so seriously, but it's like so like hard to do right now. Sorry.
I was taking it seriously until Danielle was like, you know what's funny?
Right.
Now it's over with for me. Okay, but also that same week that we learned about Harvey, I think, wasn't it Nelly that he was accused of raping a woman
Like a
inside of
groupie
his
or something.
Yeah, inside of the tour van. But first of all, tour. The fuck?
The fuck are you touring?
That's
Explain.
where the lie started.
Right.
Found it.
That's where the lie started. Because first of all, a tour bus. You know what I imagine them riding in? Like a
rape
fucking
van?
school bus. You know, because they're so like not even like he's not even.
Yeah, no.
Where they get the money for a tour van? Tour
A
bus.
motherfucking van with no
The short
windows.
school bus though.
Okay, so I can't. I'm not. Did you hear about that, Sharonda? The rape? I'm sorry. What is that? What? Okay, so he was like, "No, I didn't do anything," and then the girl said that she didn't want to talk about it, or
She didn't want to press charges. She's not going for it.
Yes,
but
she's not going. Yeah, she's not
I
going
think
forward
the
with it. I
DA
did.
is going to go ahead and pick it up.
Yes, I did read that.
Yeah.
They love to get famous people on drugs and rape. They're like,
Yeah.
"You did it." Oh
Yes.
yeah.
It was
Pointing
Shaq.
the finger.
Yeah, you didn't.
You are so stupid.
But yeah, that's kind of fucked up though, because she was saying that she felt like people wouldn't believe her.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, you never know because we're not there. I can't say that every sexual assault is true, and
Right.
And I don't want to be insensitive because, of course, I've been sexually assaulted myself. But I think just like with any crime, they have to listen to both sides before they can make a decision about what happened.
Right.
So he said he didn't do anything, and she said she's not going to press charges, right?
Yes. Yeah, she's not going to press any charges. But I do hate that, somebody that has actually been sexually assaulted, feels like they can't come forward for being,
right.
Ostracized by your community and, just ragged on or whatever. Like,
called a whore.
That's not cool. You know what I mean? Like,
you
need to be able to.
I agree.
Like, there should not be so much focus on the victim in the situation. Like, it's like the victim is automatically
persecuted.
She's automatically persecuted. She's automatically the problem. It's like, why are you making these allegations against this nice man?
Against this nice man.
This nice man offered you all that dick, and then this is how you repay. You see what you do? Offered you this old wrinkly ass peen, and you gonna act like this. I bet his balls just hang so far and just sad. Oh my God, sad balls.
Because I mean, gross. A lot of people they hold that in when they don't ever come forward with it. They hold it in, and then it just ends up, manifesting in other ways in their life. They become sad or they become destructive. They lash out. So I mean, it comes out various ways. So it ends up just hurting them. So I really hate that for people like that. And she came out, and then it's just like, oh wait a minute, it's too much. Because, I mean, even though her name was never released, right? I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. She's not a teenager, is she?
No, I never saw a name.
I never saw a name either. So I think that she was still sort of maintaining some anonymity. But if it would have gone on, then no, it would have came out.
Yeah. Definitely.
At some point.
I don't know. I don't like right now how people, the media or social media, whoever it is, but I hate how they're like victim shaming all these people that are deciding to come forward with this stuff. You know what I mean? Just or even supporting and just hashtagging the Me Too situation. It's like everybody doesn't always have the courage of, or maybe the strength to come forward and say that's happened to them before. But then now that they have, and it might be years later, but it's like they're being, like Michelle said, ostracized because, or I'm sorry, Danielle said they're being ostracized because they've decided to step forward finally. I mean, you can't tell somebody when is a good time or a bad time for them to step forward when something like that's happened to them.
When do you think you might feel good talking about your sexual assault?
I mean, it's been a week, so
you're not ready to discuss it yet.
You should be. You're like over the flu and everything.
I
now,
should
right?
be over it. Yeah, you can walk again, so you should be fine. I mean, why didn't you come forward quicker? I mean, that's crazy, And some people, they're ashamed of embarrassing like themselves, their family. I mean, some of these people could have been, I'm just saying this in the world. Some of these people are married women and, stuff like that. They don't want people judging them. So, I mean, I just feel like people need to take it the fuck easy. Like, stop tripping. Everybody doesn't have the strength or the courage to try to come forward when something that bad has happened before. You don't want to be, you're already going to be judged anyway. But at the end of the day, you're going to be judged, socially, like with everybody who sees or hears your story. You know what I mean? I think that's bullshit.
That's like the women with Harvey and with James. Like it's been like 20 years for some of those incidents happen.
And Bill Cosby.
Right.
And and Bill Cosby's the same, But I mean, it just goes to show how there is strength in numbers and how one person that has the strength and the courage can actually encourage somebody else to come along. And then you get that strength in numbers. I mean, it's sad at the same time that it's like this many people have been affected by this one person. Like, it's sad. Like, it's kind of fucked up. And then you kind of think like, well, if somebody would have came out sooner, then maybe the next person wouldn't have or whatever. But you never really know in those situations.
And it's not like they're going to send him away for years and years. I mean, even if he gets out, he's just going to have some other poor woman convinced that he's normal and then do something to her. Yeah. So I mean, this is a shame. And I was going to talk about something else, but I feel like, God, this is so many different people just in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So many men who are, finger pointed at what they're doing. Maybe it's not, violence, but like the game was supposedly got a 15-year-old girl pregnant.
Oh,
I mean, that's assault too. That's a child.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Of course, he denied it, but I don't know. I'm just
crazy.
really.
That is so awful.
Yeah, it makes me feel really, really bad. But I mean, he's not the only person that ever did that as far as being a musical artist or whatever. I found this list of 11 rock stars who allegedly slept with underage girls. And it's pretty gross. Of course, there's a pop-up on the screen now, so I can't tell you who's on here. Hold on just a section. I know Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley were there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious, Elvis Presley?
Yeah, because Priscilla was like really young.
She was like 13.
Yeah, when they met, 13, 14?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I thought she was 16 when they met. Jesus.
Even still.
I'm saying, 16, you can get a job. You can get a job, you can take a dick. I don't know.
You sure? I thought she was at least in 10th grade.
Right.
No,
She had her stuff. She's a woman now.
I'm just saying, bitch is Elvis, though. It's Elvis. Like, come on.
Yeah. Elvis.
That's crazy.
I mean, he was in
R.
his
Kelly.
20s, of course. Yeah. R. Kelly, for sure.
He's still currently involved in that, but okay.
Right. Oh, David Bowie, too.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't Chuck Berry?
Yeah. Chuck Berry's on here. We'll see. Let me just tell y'all who's on here. David Bowie. Jimmy Page.
Wow.
For those of you who don't know, he's the Led Zeppelin guitarist. Okay. R. Kelly. Yeah, he's the next person. Ted Nugent.
Really?
Yeah.
He's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Like, seriously?
Yeah, let's see. Who did they say? Yeah, he married Oh, wait. I guess part of the song was about how he couldn't marry his 17-year-old girlfriend or whatever. Steven Tyler.
Hmm.
Let's see. The girl was 16. Jerry Lee Lewis. It was his own cousin. Gross.
Twice removed.
Yeah.
Twice
Sorry.
removed.
My bad. Who's 13. And then here's the killing part. They said,
but I mean, if she was 16, though, hey.
They said when she moved out of her parents' house to join Jerry Lee Lewis on tour, she packed her belongings in the only container she had, her dollhouse.
Oh my God.
Baby didn't have a suitcase because she's a child. So she packed up her house inside of the dollhouse.
Oh my
Mommy
God.
won't give me one.
Oh, no. Stop. All right, so here's this one that's probably surprising, and then I'm not going to read anymore, but Marvin Gaye.
Really?
Yeah, they said that he met one of his wives. I think it was his second wife that he met when she was 17. So even though that's still kind of older.
That's on the cusp.
Yeah, but you're only 1 year removed from Sharada saying 16. You're like, oh my God. Now you're like,
I
okay.
mean, she's older than
probably
16,
like
so it's kind of
17 and
okay.
8 months. We're gonna.
Ugh, Mick Jagger's on here too. God.
Oh my God, are you serious?
They're all pedophiles.
Right. But I'm like, okay, so but what happened to the times where people were actually getting married at that age? In some places, they still marry women off at that young.
Yeah.
We are not your property. I'm kidding. I'm not having a feminist moment on episode 53. So,
Damn.
Danielle, you have a list of things to avoid when you feel like the urge is creeping up in you.
So yeah, if you feel like, oh, I feel a little touchy-feely, friendly, maybe I'll just sprinkle some sexual harassment on your day.
Harassment fingers.
Harassment fingers. 10 ways to avoid herpes fingers. Go.
Yes. So if you feel the need to harass somebody, avoid these things, right? This is what you want to do. Pet names such as babe, honey, or sugar tits.
Personally, I like sugar tits. Keep going.
Maybe refrain from whistling. Women don't like to be whistled at.
Because we're not fucking puppies, but okay.
Don't do that. Or scream, "Hey, little mama," in the office. Like,
oh my
baby
God.
girl?
How you doing?
I see you packing them pencils.
Right.
Go on, girl. Avoid raunchy jokes. I don't have any, but don't do that.
What do the two titties say to each other? Don't touch me.
Let's get closer.
I don't know. I'm just
Closer than close.
girl. Let's get close.
They actually are closer than most, though. Like,
Closer
I'm
than
just
most.
saying.
Ooh.
I mean, I low-key feel like I might be contributing to sexual harassment at work and at school because I am always the first person, and I mean the first person to say, "That's what she said." So I might
disgusting.
be like, I am, because I say that shit all the fucking time. All the time. That is like my signature. Oh, that's what she said. And I work with nothing but guys. There's that.
Don't put your fingers on your coworkers and give them a neck rub, a back rub, a shoulder massage. It's really offensive.
It is actually shit.
I mean, but what if you're having a stressful day at work? I mean,
you remember that girl that we used to work with, Sharonda, at that company?
oh my God.
The dark girl with the half perm, half natural hair.
Jesus Christ. Yes, I do.
It's like
Indeed, I do.
natural in the front and perm in the back. Because
hotfuckingmess.com.
she gave me a shoulder massage one day at work, and I was just like, "Oh my God, why are you touching me?" And she
Are
was
you
like,
serious?
Yeah, I thought I told you about that. And she was like,
No.
it was so creepy, and like, I was like, I'm not a lesbian though. Like,
Oh my God, you were lady raped. You were you're a gentleman, so you were genuinely raped. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was that.
You didn't like go off or anything? Like, I can't believe
I
that.
just
I
just moved. I was like, no, I'm good, thank you.
Oh my God.
And she was just like, you sure?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure.
Pretty
I mean, you
positive.
look a little. You might look stressed out, Danielle. She was trying to help you. Have a good
I don't know,
day.
she looked like she should be like, building something.
Oh my God.
All right, so
Oh my God, like a warehouse or
bitch,
something.
what you doing in here? Look at that.
Where is your nail and hammer?
Oh my
You
God.
be laying some sheetrock.
Sir. That you wrong.
was-
Okay.
She was
so-
trying to lay that pipe on your motherfucking ass, but you wasn't trying to hear. You uncooperative bitch.
No pipe, thank you.
Oh my God.
Because
That is so
what is it
crazy.
even made out of?
No, right.
All right.
Silicone. Okay.
Ew, oh my God. She's so disgusting at the same damn time. That is just, ugh.
So how was the wine, Danielle?
Boy, this ginger tea, though.
Yeah. The ginger tea, though.
I really like this wine. It tastes really good.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Gross.
I liked it. It's pretty good.
It's like it had like a little lemony taste to it, but it's kind of sweet on the sweet side.
Yeah, but it did have kind of a citrusy.
Yeah.
Is that what the word is? Citrus?
Citrusy.
Mm-hmm.
When it's, sour.
Had like a little pucker at the end.
Thank you, God. I'm like, what is the fucking word?
Fucking wine terms. What the fuck?
I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I could tell you if that whiskey was good or not.
Yeah, it did. But it had a good I think it had like a good aftertaste and everything. Like I like it a lot. I give it a 23.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Oh, my
Damn.
God.
close as fuck to 25. All right, so I'm gonna do 24.
24.
Yeah.
All right. So we got an A.
Fucking 0. I hate Pinot Grigio. 0.
Oh, it's not Grigio.
Sorry.
It's the Gris. The Gris is sweeter than
I
the
know.
Grigio.
I know, but it has the Gris. It has one of those grapes in it, and I don't like.
Yeah, it's a different.
I know it. Yes, bitch, I do know that. That's why I said a 0.
Is this what you guys? Are you guys gonna argue about the wine some more? Danielle's over here mocking you, bitch. It's getting serious. I'm like, the fuck? Y'all really finna beef over this wine? It was pretty good, though.
Let me explain something to you that you may not know, Michelle. This bitch is a junior fucking wine
Let's
snob.
cut her mic off. All right.
Trying to graduate her way up to a
Okay,
senior
the mute
fucking
button.
wine
Let me
snob.
find it.
No, bitch. Don't make me drive over there. Shit.
All right.
Fake ass wine snob. Oh my God, because the swirl, the legs on it, I'm not feeling the legs on this wine. Looking ass.
Right,
Fuck you.
Can you just go ahead and cut her mic off? Thank you.
No, you cannot. Fuck out of here.
All right, thank you, Sharonda, though, for coming when you don't feel good. We appreciate
Thank you, Michelle. I
coming.
feel appreciated by you tonight. I really do. Other people, not so much.
Aw, so unfortunate.
All right. Okay, well, hopefully we'll see you back soon, okay?
Yes, soon I will stop dying so Danielle cannot have my shoe collection.
I told her to will me her shoes.
You are so dumb.
Like, no,
so I see you're
Michelle,
over there dehydrated.
But it's
Before
like,
you go.
literally, yes. I text her and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so horrible. Like my stomach's been crazy. Everybody around me's been sick. Like I'm like explaining all of this shit to her and I was like, I think I'm dying. And this bitch had the audacity to say, okay, so can you just will me your shoe collection, please?
Skipping right over the part where she's like, I'm going to miss you. I'm sorry.
Like,
La la la.
step
She's
over-
like, but also your shoes, though.
I mean,
step
let's just
over
get that
my
out the
dead
way.
body. This bitch is trying to step over my dead body to get to some fucking shoes. Like, this is what I receive. So, yeah, never again. Fuck her. Hate her.
Aw.
I heard I
Where's-
love you.
Where's the love? Where's the love?
I heard I
But then
love you
again,
now.
nobody's surprised. Nobody's even shocked. Nobody even said. They were like, oh, yeah, that's so her.
Okay, well. Well. There's love in the room. We miss Sharonda.
Thank you, Michelle only.
Oh, you're welcome. So if you guys could just follow us on Facebook and go ahead and leave a review on the Facebook page. You know, the ones where you just put 5 stars and then you say things like, oh my God, I love this show. Blah, blah, blah. You know, like when you see those reviews for restaurants, you're like, yeah, fucking right.
I think that they all wrote them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not even if they wrote them, just like they had their friends to go and like it.
Yeah.
They're like, can you leave me a review?
Mm-hmm.
And the friend's like, sure, John. I think John is amazing. Don't even know.
Right.
But yeah, if you could just do that for us. And Sharonda, we'll see you when you feel better.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bastard.
Thank you for joining us on Between Us Girls. But don't keep it a secret. Listen and share with everyone you know. See you next week.